Signed, and just 7 minutes later, suits. Today, 14 attorneys general filing lawsuits against the federal government to stop this health care overhaul. They claim it's all unconstitutional. And just as I was saying that, we're getting word that Missouri wants in, too. The lieutenant governor there saying that it would be wise to look at repealing this. Do any of these guys have a case? Let's ask America's mayor. Of course, a former top Justice Department official as well, and noted DA, Rudy Giuliani. Do they have a case?
They have a case, sure, absolutely. I mean, the argument is that this is a matter that's been reserved for the states to decide. Traditionally, that's been the case. After all, you can only get health insurance in your own state. You can't buy health insurance outside of your state, which I think helps the argument that this is something that traditionally has been reserved to the states to decide. It also hurts the Obama argument that this is a necessary regulation of interstate commerce, since you can't buy interstate. I mean, we're prohibited from buying interstate. Had they passed what the Republicans wanted, which is the ability to buy health insurance in any state that you want, they may have actually have added something to their constitutional argument that this was part of Congress exercising its power to regulate interstate commerce.
Well, maybe the way to slap it down is just to get vengeance at the polls.
Well, it is.
And win in November,
but you got to,
then move to turn this over.
Quite honestly, the cost of this is so great, you got to try everything you can to stop it. This is an enormous burden that is being put on our children and our grandchildren. And if you think about the way this bill has been done, very, very cynically, this has all been put out to after Obama's out of office. I mean, he's even passing this on to us, even if he has 2 terms.
You're talking about the real cost and how you're going to pay
sure,
for it.
Like the tax.
Right.
The tax happens in 2018. That's absurd to have a tax in 2018. And the only reason for that
as long, Mayor, really, as my daughter's still covered under this plan, it seems like she will be. It's not a bad.
But the problem for your
She'll
daughter
never move out. Right.
My daughter and your daughter, there may be nothing covered under this plan by the time they're finished.
So, but you think, because you know the flip side, just speaking crassly politically here, is that it makes Republicans look like sore losers, and the only way they can have their way is in the courts. That's how it's going to look.
Well, Republicans are fighting for a principle. I mean, the principle here is private medicine. We want to preserve private medicine in this country. There's no question that this is part of an ideological macro picture on the part of the Obama administration to have the government take over just about everything. They would like us to be a European social democracy. They have taken over financial institutions. They've taken over the automotive industry. They took over student loans, a hidden part of that bill.
A big part of this.
Yeah, take student loans away from private banks.
We had a fairly noted liberal on just before who said, well, they're emboldened by this. And
well, they are.
Go on cap and trade and all this other stuff because they feel the wind's at their back.
Well, now they want to take over energy. This is an attempt to make us like France, an attempt to make us like Germany, an attempt to make us like Italy, to make us an aggressive social democracy.
Our motherland, are you?
I love our motherland for music, for art, for religion.
Just not for driving or politics.
The politics, you know, is a little chaotic.
You give
and the economy is not exactly
you give this a reasonable shot. But a nightmare scenario, Mayor, could be it goes all the way to the Supreme Court. And then, you know, the American public, or a lot of folks are going to say, well, there they go again. They're at the court.
I think you have to stop worrying about that, and you have to fight for what you believe in. And the reality is...
But if you guys got elected in November in a landslide, then you
I think that has to be
willy-nilly
the major
dismantle this.
The major emphasis here has to be for Republicans to go to the American people and say, elect us. You can't do any worse. Give us a chance to do what Obama.
That's actually a good elect us.
Well, that's how I got elected.
It up anymore.
That's how I got elected the first time as mayor of New York. My slogan was, "You can't do any worse than you're doing right now."
What have you got to lose?
You got nothing to lose. You got nothing to lose to give us a chance. Let us do the things that we wanted to do that Obama completely stopped us from doing and Pelosi stopped us from doing. They keep accusing us of being the party of no. Put us in power, give us a chance, and we will pass a major tax deduction for health insurance, $15,000 for an individual, for a family, $7,500 for an individual. We'll pass the ability to buy insurance in every state, so you drive down the price of insurance. We will pass tort reform. We will pass a law like Texas has, which works beautifully. Number of doctors in Texas increasing. Number of doctors.
What they're going to say, Mayor? They're going to say, as the president said, too little, too late. Now the Republicans are getting serious about an issue that they've really never been serious about.
What I just told you I ran on when I was running for President of the United States. So did John McCain. This is what we would do if we were in power. Give us a chance. Give us a chance to check and balance this out-of-control, left-wing spiral that our government is in right now.
Why do you think Barack Obama took the approach he did not do the Clinton thing, moved to the middle after the Scott Brown election? In fact, you know, there was that famous meeting, we're told, at the White House with Rahm Emanuel, I assume he was dressed, where he was saying, well, maybe we got to go healthcare light.
Right. And
the president, Nancy Pelosi, Harriet said, no, we got to go full
do you remember when the presidential election was going on and the point was made that Barack Obama had the most liberal voting record in the United States Senate? More liberal than Teddy Kennedy, more liberal than Hillary Clinton, more liberal than John Kerry. That's who we have in the White House.
So none of the surprises.
Maybe we should
so
just
that come to Jesus moment after the Scott Brown thing is when he came to reveal his real self.
Of course. And this idea that
he won. He won this.
Well, he won it because he's got a massive majority in the House and the Senate. Let's take away that massive majority and let's get him. Let's at least force this country back into the middle.
As they say, maybe the polls pick up, or approval ratings pick up for him. Sentiment for this, a lot of the anger, vituperation goes away. And their argument is people will see the good stuff up front, because you're right, a lot of this bad stuff is years down the road, and they run with it.
But the good stuff is, from their point of view, the good stuff is also down the road. The coverage of people doesn't happen until, 2013, 2014.
The coverage for kids with pre-existing conditions. And
but not for adults with pre-existing conditions.
No,
that's 3 years away. The mandate to have health insurance is down the road. So a lot of the good things from their point of view don't happen until the future. Also, this is a president who has problems in other areas. Tonight he's meeting with the Israeli prime minister.
Right.
All of a sudden he's in a major dispute with one of our strongest allies, a country that stood with us in both Gulf wars, a country that is at risk from Iran, and he is, I understand, I don't know if this is correct, he's not going to allow cameras in so that he can be pictured with the Israeli. Why is he embarrassed to be with the Israeli prime minister?
You sure he's not going to allow cameras?
I don't know. I heard that. Maybe that's not the case.
Cameras with every leader he meets.
Find out for me. Somebody told me that who wasn't particularly reliable.
I got it.
I got it on my iPhone. I saw a little thing saying the camera's not going to be allowed. I don't know. It could have been somebody like
all right. Well, we got to
spamming me or something.
Right.
But find out.
Well, that would be weird.
But creating a dispute with Israel, this is a political issue.
That I want to watch. That we're on top of. Mayor, always.